If you've been following me for a while, you probably know how much I love to travel. I've spent years helping others plan unforgettable vacations as a travel advisor and sharing my own adventures from around the world. And I'm not stopping anytime soon. But lately, it's been on my mind that I haven't seen much of my own country, so I've decided it's time to change that. Over the next couple of years, I plan to explore more of Canada. Not just the famous places that you can find in every guidebook, but the small towns, the local cafes, the unique places to stay, and everything in between. You know, the places that you stumble upon, fall in love with, and you never forget. I'm calling this journey Oh Canada, and it's all about discovering and rediscovering what makes my country so amazing. Whether it's a weekend road trip here on Vancouver Island, a foodie experience in the Maritimes, or uncovering the stories behind historic spots in the prairies, I'm here for all of it. This isn't about rushing or checking boxes. It's about slowing down, supporting local, and celebrating what's right in front of me. So if you've ever said, I should see more of Canada, I hope you'll come along. Let's explore our own country and our own backyard together and fall in love with Canada all over again. And the first adventure? It's a big one. You know those trips where the journey is just as fun as the destination? Well, this was one of them. I started out at 4 a.m. on Vancouver Island, hopped on the ferry to the mainland, squeezed in a Disney cruise ship tour, and then hit the Gold Rush Trail. I camped by the river, I ate tacos in Cache Creek, and I even went to my 40th grad reunion before ending up in the historic town of Barkerville. It was one of those adventures that felt like it had a little bit of everything. I was away from home for 4 weeks, and driving the Gold Rush Trail was just the beginning. So make sure you're subscribed to see all the rest of it as well as future trips. This adventure actually started really early. I left home on Vancouver Island at 4 a.m. to catch the 6 a.m. ferry over to the mainland.
Hi, good morning.
There's something special about driving onto the ferry in the dark while the sun rises in the background. This felt like the start of something big. Every time I'm on the ferry, I search for whales, and I have yet to spot any. Have you? Let me know in the comments. Before I even hit the Gold Rush Trail, I made a stop at the Port of Vancouver. I joined a group of fellow travel advisors for a short Disney Wonder cruise ship inspection. We toured some of the public spaces like the pool deck, the atrium, and some restaurants, and peeked inside of a few different categories of staterooms. And we even had a quick lunch at the buffet. If you've never been on a Disney cruise, what really stands out is the detail. Everywhere you look, there's a touch of magic, from the decor to the dining to the family-friendly spaces. Even in a short visit like this, you get a real sense of what it would be like if you were stepping on board for a week at sea. And honestly, if a Disney cruise is on your bucket list, then let me know. I would love to help you plan it. Now, one minute I was checking out themed dining rooms and kids' clubs and tasting the food from the buffet, and the next I was back in my car driving to Fort Langley to start my weeks-long road trip. When I got to Fort Langley, it was too late in the day to spend much time there, but I have been there recently on a Chew on This tasty tour. Now let me tell you, this little village is packed with charm and fabulous food. On that tour, I started with high tea at the Little White House, which felt like stepping into a Parisian storybook. Next, inside the historic fort at Tradish, the Ancestor Cafe, I tasted bannock with healing jams and sampled 3 lemonades that were absolutely delicious. I also stopped at Into Chocolate for fudge and vintage sweets, and of course I had to buy myself a Charlie Brown stuffy that kind of reminded me of my granddad. His name was Charlie as well. And he also did look a little bit similar to Charlie Brown in his later years. Next, I had a fresh plant-based mac and cheese at Grounds and Greens Cafe, paired with a delicious iced coffee, and wrapped up the day at Omni Kitchen and Bar with a lineup of fries and drinks to cheers with. Even though Fort Langley was mostly closed when I passed through this time, I already know it's worth coming back to again to explore even more. My first stop was in Agassiz, and after I bought groceries, I camped right beside the river in a campsite that I booked actually when I got there. Thankfully, there were a lot of empty sites, and I decided to pay a little bit more so I could have a riverside campsite instead of back in the field. This was actually my first night camping in my new to me car, so I was still figuring things out. For dinner, I pulled out my little electric skillet powered by my Jackery 500, and I made simple fajitas, just steak strips, seasoning, and red onions. They smelled and tasted delicious. Sitting there cooking and eating by the river with the mountains and trees and water all around me, it felt like the perfect start to this adventure that initially was going to be 2 weeks, and somehow it turned into 4 weeks on the road. I was too tired to do much else that evening, so I just set up my car and curled up in bed and immediately fell asleep, only to be woken up a few times in the night by trains passing by across the river. Oh well, that's camping. Well, I'm starting out today with a hearty breakfast sandwich from A&W and a very large coffee. I had a good night camping, but it was a series of 2-hour cat naps because of all the trains. But all in all, it was a beautiful spot to camp for the night, and now I am heading up the Fraser Canyon. So I'm super excited because it's such a beautiful drive and it's fully sunny and really beautiful today. So it'll be really lovely to drive the Fraser Canyon to Cache Creek today. I wanted to get an early start, so I wasn't able to visit Harrison Mills and Kilby Historic Site as they weren't open yet, and I had a long drive ahead of me that day. I packed up camp and I hit the road. From there, I rolled past Hope. It's a little mountain town surrounded by these massive cliffs. Hope is famous for its chainsaw carvings. They're everywhere. So we are going east to Cache Creek. From Hope, the road heads into the Fraser Canyon, and honestly, every time I drive this stretch, I'm in awe. I've also traveled through this area on the Rocky Mountaineer train for a different perspective. Now, this was a much slower journey where I could just sit back and enjoy the stunning views through the glass domed roof. If you want to go on Rocky Mountaineer, then message me to get booked, because if you didn't know, I'm a travel advisor. Through the Fraser Valley, the cliffs rise straight up, Fraser River is thundering below, and then you get the tunnels. There are 7 of them blasted right through the rock. Honestly, I prefer driving up the canyon, and my nerves get the best of me driving down the other way, as I'm closer to the edge of the cliff. So, like I said, I prefer driving up. Moments like this remind me of how beautiful my own province is. You don't need to leave BC to feel like you're on a world-class road trip, and people from all over the world travel here to see our own province. So let's pull in here and see what this sign says. Okay, early Chinese. After the gold rush of 1858, the Chinese came to Gum San Gold Mountain, seeking wealth from mining and logging, but also by opening restaurants, stores, and laundries. They grew produce for market, traded with and married Indigenous peoples, and despite discrimination, they helped to shape BC by building the Cariboo Road and the Canadian Pacific Railway. So let's take a look at this. I'm not going to try to pronounce any of that. Hell's Gate we'll stop at. Alexander Bridge is a long hike in, but it's gorgeous. I don't think I'll have time for that today. The crazy mighty Fraser River. Spirit Caves, that sounds pretty cool as well. And Pioneer Cemetery. Yale Historic Site, Emerald Creek, St. John the Divine, Lady Franklin Rock. So we are in Yale right now, and then we will be heading up to Spuzzum, Boston Bar, and Lytton. Garbage can's right in my way, so I hope you can see everything from here, because I can't really get much closer because the garbage can is right in front of me and it smells really lovely. So let's take a look at these signs as well, with the lovely sun glare. Okay, Hudson Bay, Fort Yale. The North American West Coast fur trade began in the late 1700s and continued into the gold rush era of the 1850s and beyond. The Hudson's Bay Company was desperate to open up fur trade routes between BC's coast and the interior after their southern trade routes were lost to the United States following the Oregon Treaty of 1846. Okay, the trucks are really loud, so I'm just going to scan this and perhaps you can read the rest of that on your own. Okay, and then we'll go to Gold Rush. The Hudson's Bay Company at Fort Yale knew about the rich deposits of gold in the Fraser River as early as 1856, but they kept it a secret. Ooh, sneaky. Very sneaky. Okay, so there is stairs going down to nothing. There's a sign with some historic sites, so maybe we'll go down and take a look at that. And then what do we have here? First Nations people have lived in the Yale area since Okay, these trucks are really loud. Nobody's going to be able to hear me if I read these out. Oh, what's this? Well, how cool is that? I'll have to take a look at that. Sounds like it could be fun. So this is a typical BC road stop. We've got a couple toilets and a little picnic area. Let's go take a look at this sign too, since we're looking at all the signs. So this is Welcome to the Fraser Canyon. The Fraser Canyon is an impressive natural wonder, a deep chasm cut by the Fraser River over millions of years, discovered its rugged scenery marked by towering mountains, rushing rivers and creeks, bottomless lakes, and breathtaking wilderness as you wind your way through tunnels carved out of solid rock. Yep, we're definitely going to be experiencing that. Okay, let's get back on the road. Okay, are we ready to go check out the next stop? We'll see if we can see what is down below those, down below this fence. Maybe it's something of interest that we could take a look at. Okay, Victoria Street. Let's see what we can see. Yale Heritage Site parking. Oh, I see. Interesting. Let's just go this way and see what we're looking at. So this must be the heritage site. Maybe? Not really sure. Oh, historic Yale. There is the historic site and more. Doesn't look like they're open quite yet, so I won't be stopping in there, but I will be obviously just driving by. Oh, and here is the old church. Done a beautiful job restoring it. Cache Creek, 168 kilometers, and then I'm going to Kamloops, which is 252 kilometers. So it's another 45-minute drive. Oh, here's a sign, Gold Rush Trail. We're on the right track. Oh, and our first tunnel. I'm super excited. When you were a kid, did you used to have to count or hold your breath? Let me know which one. We would do both, actually. We'd try to hold our breath going through the tunnel, and then other times we just tried to try to count and see how long we could count, or how high we could count to while we were going through the tunnel. So this is one of the most beautiful parts of the drive. The whole drive is gorgeous right along the canyon, but this is one of the more beautiful with the tunnels and the beautiful rock formations on the sides of the road and all that jazz. And the mighty Fraser River down on the right, which I'm sure you can't see because GoPro or Action 5 Pro is pointing to the road. Sometimes they also call this the Caribou Highway. So I've heard it, called Caribou Highway. So Boston Bar is 38 kilometers, Lytton 82. And tunnel number 2. This one is Saddle Rock Tunnel. Just a little short one. Sailor Bar Tunnel. This is where I pulled over right here, and I ran to the middle of this bridge and took a video of the train Rocky Mountaineer going right underneath me. It was just an amazing experience. And over to the left, which you can't see because I'm not going to grab the camera, is the historic Alexandra Bridge. And it's not cool enough to go for a walk. It's smoking hot is what I mean. The bridge is really cool, but it is smoking hot out and I don't really want to go for a walk. But here's the part where you park. You can park here on the left, Alexandra Bridge, picnic grounds, and then there's a walk to the historic bridge. This one is Alexandra Tunnel. Did I see another bridge or another tunnel? See, I haven't really even had my coffee yet this morning, so I don't even know what I'm saying. Now, one of the most dramatic spots on this drive is Hell's Gate, where the river squeezes through a narrow gorge with unbelievable force. There's a gondola that you can ride across the river and have lunch below, but back in the gold rush days, this was one of the most dangerous crossings. There are places to hike on this route as well, but it's not my thing, so make sure you do your research and also go early in the day if you travel during the summertime. It's just too hot after mid-morning, and of course, stay hydrated. From Yale north, the highway follows the route of the old Caribou Wagon Road. It takes you through towns like Boston Bar, Lytton, and Spence's Bridge. These are small communities now, but they each have their stories, and the drive itself is stunning. The rivers, valleys, and the bridges, that all make you want to just pull over and take it all in. In 2021, the town of Lytton almost fully burned down. It was devastating and will take them years to recover. I think the temperature that day was around 50 degrees Celsius. That's 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Much too hot. The region is a semi-arid desert and it is known for being hot. It's in a narrow valley also, with only just the river nearby and no sizable lakes to help cool off this area. Stop of interest. What does it say? It says Canadian Northern Pacific's last spike. Canada's third transcontinental rail link was completed near Basque on January 23, 1915. In a simple ceremony, the last spike was driven, witnessed by a small group of engineers and workmen. The line later became part of the federal government's consolidated Canadian National Railways system. Now we are coming into the town or village of Cache Creek. So yeah, it looks pretty busy, but I'm going to give it a go. Tacos, nachos, hot sauce, ice cream. Facing the beautiful highway. Thank you. Thank you.
That's good enough. We're going to be back with us.
I'm sitting here at Desert Hills Taco Stand. Take a look. It is super busy here, so I'm glad I got in a bit early and I got two different kinds of tacos. I ordered the famous pork belly taco, that's this one, and then the chicken Rajas Poblano taco. This is the famous pork belly. So good. Famous pork belly taco with fresh pico de gallo and fresh pineapple on it. Amazing. And a pineapple drink. I haven't seen this. I love pineapple drinks. And this next one I have is the chicken Poblano Rojas taco. I like a bit of heat. This is amazing. This one is definitely messy. So good. Oh. Forgot. I was so happy with that taco. I forgot I was going to show you Hat Creek Ranch. We will do that right now first. I had what might have been the best lunch of the whole trip at the Desert Hills taco stand. Honestly, fresh, flavorful, and totally unexpected in the middle of a Gold Rush Trail road trip. It's little food surprises like that that make these drives so fun. I don't think the gold miners on their journey had this option. I spent some time at Hat Creek Ranch, which is a beautifully preserved heritage site from the Gold Rush days. You can walk through the old stagecoach buildings, barns, and even see the original roadhouse. You can also ride in a stagecoach and just have that hands-on experience. And standing there, it really hit me how tough travel would have been back then.
This room had nice furniture in it. This was the parlor.
Now I'm going to end this first video right here as I came across this crazy rock slide that happened literally minutes before I got here. I'm taking a break from the Gold Rush Trail to visit family and friends in Kamloops, and I will be back next week to continue my Gold Rush Trail journey and to also stop at more historic sites, reconnect with the people I graduated high school with, and then visit Barkerville and pan for gold again. Now that's what I love about road trips. They're never just about the destination, they're about the stops and adventures along the way. I'm so proud to call British Columbia home because drives like this remind me just how stunning and full of stories this province really is. Now thanks for riding along with me. If you enjoyed this first adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me on the next one. Oh hey, scan this QR code to join me in my new inner circle on Patreon for exclusive content and more. Thanks for watching.